Well, there's the,
Yeah, I have no idea how to put the music on.
well, it's on my computer, which is
Oh,
in the shop.
oh yeah. You're
So there's
welcome, by the way.
no way to do it. Uh,
There's
let's
always
see. Scott is in Germany.
yes.
So he's
But he's
reporting
here. But he's
reporting in.
here.
John S. Vlog is
Uh-huh.
reporting in. Then we got a half a dozen people here. Michael Long. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
Ah,
Let's hear John. We got, let's see here. Oh, I'm so glad to see you guys. Can you hear me okay?
yep.
All right. Good, good, good. I literally just got finished yelling at my children, so
Oh, I see.
they've been they've been rambunctious and how do I put it this way, at each other's throats in the most loving and annoying way.
That's great. Well, you've been working on your outdoor pond, I knew, this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's exciting.
Yes. I made another impulse buy.
Oh, what?
So they had a 30% off. Well, they I I've been okay, so I've got beautiful, beautiful red neocaridina cherry shrimp. And when I went to this pet store today, because they had like a 30%, well, if it's like 10 shrimp for $30, they were overstocked, and so they were trying to get rid of them.
Yeah.
So 10 shrimp for $30 is really, really good. So I have beautiful, bright, bright red cherry shrimp. And when I went to the fish store, like I guess they're like the same color as the Bloody Marys or the red chili
Yeah.
shrimp. Like they're deeper red than the cherry. I mean, that's just they're deeper red than the deepest red neocaradinas they have. So I feel a little proud of myself. And then they've got blue dream, which I inadvertently was breeding, and mine are just up there with their quality. And then the what I really was after was orange neocaradinas, orange or yellow. But this one is like they're really orange.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yeah. So I have 10. They're in a quarantine tank now. That's not the impulse buy.
Oh.
The impulse buy was what I have to find this type of, it's like an endler, but they're not. And I bought them for the outdoor patio pond, for the
Right.
top surface, but also, I mean, there was several females. I got 7 of
So
them.
it's an Endler Guppy cross.
Yeah, it was like yellow something. I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
they're like yellow with like red spots along the side.
Nice.
I can't remember what I don't remember what they were called. I was just so excited because they gave me a hell of a deal, because I was looking at the endlers. There's some really nice, or the cobra endlers, and there's some like really tiny endlers that I absolutely love, but they didn't have any females. And I wanted, a mixture. And the guy was like, look, I'll give you some of these females. And I'm like, for like 350. And I'm going, how about I just do males and females, all of them for 350? Plus, so it's 350 plus, if you get 6 for 350, then you get a 7th one for free.
Okay.
So I got these. Oh gosh, they're I don't even know what you call them. They're beautiful little. Well, they're not that little,
Well,
but
they
they look.
call them Endlers. The Guppy crosses.
Uh-huh.
They still call them Endlers.
Uh-huh.
They're just like a hybrid angel, a hybrid Endler or something.
Yeah,
We get a bunch of
they're a little
people.
bit larger. They're a
Yeah.
little bit larger.
Let's see. Fanatical is here.
Hi, Fanaticals.
Mary Page.
What was it? They weren't tigers. They
Gee,
were
Joel. Joel is here. Oh, they had a name for it.
Corey. Yes, they had a name for it. I'm trying to. Maybe it was a red spot guppy.
Oh, well, whatever. Michael
They'll,
Long. Nice to see you, Michael. So I have been in touch.
Yes.
With some of the folks in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a report Um, maybe we're at about 20 people here. I do want to do that. I do want to do a report on, uh, primarily it's on the Venice Club membership because that's the
Okay.
people I was closest to. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I mean, two of them lost their homes.
Oh.
And the devastation, every time I look at a video or talk to someone, my
Mm-hmm.
understanding of this terrible storm expands.
It was really bad. It was worse than I expected.
Well, it was worse than anyone has ever experienced. I mean, give you
It
an
was like a
idea.
what kind of
Charlie, which
yeah.
was the last big storm that came through, went up the Peace River, totaled Central Florida. The
Mm-hmm.
eye of that was 10 years ago or so. The eye of that storm was 8 miles wide. The eye of this storm was 40 miles wide. Just the eye. So with the outer bands, the inner ring and the outer bands, it was more than 100 miles wide and had floodwaters from the surge. Now, the surge occurs when a storm is coming on land, and as the bands blow around, as it comes past the eye to the south of it, because it's spinning counterclockwise, it blows water out of the ocean, or in this case, the Gulf, up onto the land. That's called a surge. The surge got up to 18 feet, 20 feet in some
That's
places.
practically a tsunami.
Yeah, well, it is. That's true. It's 2 stories. It was a 2 story surge. So the entirety of the outer islands,
Mm-hmm.
the so-called barrier islands, were
Mm-hmm.
utterly totaled. Just everything gone. I was talking to a friend today who is a boatswain. He works on boats as a carpenter mechanic.
Yeah.
And he works for a number of different marinas. He said all of the marinas from Venice south, all the way south, were completely destroyed. So literally tens of thousands, perhaps hundreds of thousands of boats, all of the buildings, all of the infrastructure, the entire industry is completely destroyed.
Oh my God.
It's
Oh my
that
God.
bad.
Verily was there. And I know Joel was there. But Verily's got shrimp she literally keeps outside on her
Yeah,
patio.
she was able to get away. I saw her she did a video on driving.
Yeah.
Was able to get away, and then I guess she returned yesterday.
Hmm.
In terms of club members, it's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Um, some of them had, if they were in Venice or North, they were fine, little or no damage.
Yeah.
The home I was living in lost its roof. The next door neighbor had no damage at all. The trailer park I was in, which is one of the biggest,
Uh-huh.
well, Bay Indies, everything was damaged, with the exception of my neighbor.
Your neighbor was okay.
My neighbor was okay, no damage at all. He was protected by the house I lived in, which, as I said, lost its roof, surrounded by trees, pine trees, and palm trees. Now, they were fortunate because they were south of the eye, which means that they did not get the surge. When the eye came across, because of the spin on the north side, it was blowing out into the Gulf. So it was actually blowing water away from the shoreline. The people on the south end of the eye, they're the ones that got the surge. That surge started at about Rotunda, which is
I don't even know where
15 miles south of Englewood, about, let's see, right where Port Charlotte and Punta Gorda and Fort Myers and the Barrier Islands in that region took the brunt of it. Major homes throughout the whole area.
Wow.
Virtually all of the trailer parks were destroyed. So
Barely says she has friends still missing in Sarasota.
Well, depending on where they were, they should be okay. There was not a lot of major damage in Sarasota. And Englewood was a mixed bag. Now, my friend Andy, we did a video of Andy, of his fish room. He has about 50 very large tanks. He lost the roof to his fish room.
No!
And lost the roof to his patio, his carport. And his carport had probably a dozen big tanks on it. And I just talked to him half an hour ago, and he got his power back on.
Okay.
So he's only lost a few of his bigger fish. He had McCordy and Doveye, and I think I had bought them before I left.
Right.
There were about a dozen. He sold a few. He's down now to 2 or 3. So he lost some of them, but no other losses. And he now finally has his power back. It came back really early. He was very fortunate. He's on kind of a main drag. Is that the fish you bought?
Yeah, but no, we'll talk about that later. Let's talk about the damage.
Yeah. Okay. So his main house, which is a double wide, old double wide, probably, I don't know, 50 to 60 years old, did not lose the roof, and no significant rain came into it. So he was extremely fortunate.
I feel bad though, because when it comes to large fish, it's the monster fish people. I know it's just like like many years ago, I guess, the cichlid people were like crazy on Facebook. But when you're into the monster fish world, the bigger fish you have, because it takes so long to grow them out, the bigger fish you have, the more, like, I guess you could call street cred or bragging rights. You know how it is.
Yeah,
just
really.
Measuring shoe size, whatever.
True.
I feel bad that he lost his larger fish.
Well, he still has angels. His discus are holding up.
His what?
He has a very nice collection of about 6 different species of Geophagus.
Okay.
That would be a wonderful fish for you to do when you get to the point where you've got a few more larger tanks.
I plan for this turtle pond to be my new large tank. Is it?
Right.
Yeah.
Geophagus are wonderful. That's the earth eaters.
Sorry, what are geophaguses again?
They're called earth eaters. They're
Okay.
South American cichlid. They
Uh-huh.
max out at about 5 inches. Very gentle fish. Beautiful coloring. And a fair amount of variety. I mean, you just have to look them up. Geophagus.
Okay.
Now, there's another person in our club, Bill Demery. Bill
Uh-huh.
and his wife Lola. Bill is the treasurer of the club, and Lola is the chef. They're not sure exactly what happened. They apparently lost tiles. They had a ceramic roof,
Mm.
and they apparently lost tiles, and water got in and damaged all of the drywall ceilings to
Ooh.
the point where in every room except their main room, the ceilings collapsed.
Oh no.
So their kitchen, bedrooms, bathrooms, hallways. The only room that survived was the great room. Unfortunately, they had a pull-out bed in there, so they're sleeping on that. They were
Mm-hmm.
able to get a generator,
Yeah.
so they've got some power.
1 second,
But
Scott. Have a great night. Sleep well. We're glad you're with us for a little while. I hope you're recovering. He's got to hop off. He's jet lagged.
I'm sure.
Yeah. But
Take care, Scott.
please keep going, Father Fish.
Um, let's see. Valerie, the secretary of the club. Now, she lives on Venice Island, which is a barrier island,
Mm-hmm.
in a trailer park.
Uh-oh.
Really. Her neighbor, second and third neighbor down, burned to the ground. Her next door neighbor lost their roof. She did not suffer one scratch on her home.
Oh, thank the Lord.
Came through it completely unscathed. So she was more than fortunate.
Oh,
She
yeah.
was protected. I talked to Barney. Barney is in another trailer park on the island. The carport was lost, but the roof stayed on. So he's okay. We don't know about Chuck yet. Chuck is
Yeah.
in an old, big, very established home, a very solid
Keep
home
talking.
in Venice.
Keep
No,
talking. I've got a kid wanting my attention, but keep talking.
yeah, no reason to believe he's in any trouble. He's a Luddite. He does not own a cell phone, has a landline. So we're still trying to get through. We've asked Valerie to go check on him tomorrow. The retired president of the club, Chris, talked to him. His home, he's in North Venice. His home is fine. He has another very large collection of fish and
Sorry.
power, but otherwise he's okay. I talked to Andres of Bioaquatics
Yeah.
in Vet in Sarasota. His farm took all of the plastic down from the greenhouses because
Uh-huh.
he knew it was going to get ripped up.
Yeah. There was
And
no
as a result, had no damage. He has no power, but he had no damage.
Thank there's you know, thank God. That's the thing. That's why I want to keep natural tanks, is because if something were to happen and the power were to be knocked out, I don't have to worry about at least the oxygen levels, you know?
Well, that's right. Yeah. I've had several calls today from people asking what to do because their fish are breathing heavily. And my advice consistently has been find another large container, divide the water between the two, and divide the fish between the two.
Yeah.
And if you can do it again, do it again. They can live in 2 or 3 inches of water if they're little fish. Um, but the more surface space you have, and the fewer fish in that area, the more they're going to be able to survive with the available oxygen, which naturally releases CO2, naturally releases from the water surface.
Yeah.
The water surface naturally develops oxygen, but at a given rate based on temperature. It's also based on the motion of the water, their turbidity, but if you don't have power, you don't have any water movement to speak of.
Well, I mean, I know there's battery packs. I actually have a few of them where you can, you know, at least stick an air stone in.
Yeah,
And
you can do that, and that does
yeah,
help.
it does, but I
Absolutely.
mean, like, you know, I've got like one, and I usually use that when I'm like transporting like fish or something. But
Sure.
um,
The principle is to reduce the bio load on the
uh-huh,
tank.
yes,
And if you do that, you're going to be okay.
yeah, yeah.
Let's
Um,
see, who else? I'm trying to think who else.
while you're talking, I want to say, hey, it's Corporate Jaeger's here. Fix fish, Fix fish. I want to think Phoenix fish. And sorry, yeah, fanaticals. I do get serious mom.
First
Let
class
me,
fish.
yeah. Grenwood's here. Grenwood, so glad you're
Oh,
here.
we got a mob in, don't we? Look
Uh,
at this. Well, Boss Queen is here.
mm-hmm.
She has giant goldfish, she said. I put guppy grass in my tank. They kept me up all night trying to breach. Oh,
Do the goldfish get loud when they try to breed? I'm curious.
yeah, they do. They
Really?
splash. Yeah,
Oh, they
because
splash.
they're laying their eggs in surface plants.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're
So
right up at
puppy
the
grass.
surface. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to share this screen. This is what I got today.
Wow.
Yep. Hold on.
Very pretty.
Yeah. There's a couple of the females are very, very heavy, big.
Ah, nice.
So, and speaking of which, I may have to like leave this for a second because I just realized like I literally got home and then I had to get on the live stream. So I've got them in the downstairs in my patio, which I can hop on with my phone, but they're fine. But I kind of have to go get them
Yeah,
acclimated. I'm not. They're
right.
already acclimated. Kind of have to release them from their bag, so I can get on the live stream on my phone, but why don't you go ahead and just keep let's
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah.
Aaron's made a really important point. Aaron
Mm-hmm,
Relentless. He said he was in Texas during
mm-hmm.
Harvey, South
Yes.
Texas,
No,
and
I was
decided to
too.
write it out and
Mm-hmm.
realized well into it that was a mistake. Yeah, I've never written out a bad storm, but I've written out some level one and level twos, um, and they're nothing compared to a five. You know,
Yeah.
155 miles an hour,
Yeah.
155 miles with gusts up to 200. Um, when I heard about that coming ashore near where Andy was, I sent him a message to pack up his puppies and get out of town, which he did. He stayed with family in the Sarasota area, and they were fine. So it wasn't until he got back yesterday that he realized what had happened. But he was one of the lucky ones. He still has a house he can live in. Even Bill, who lost all of the drywall ceilings in his house, that can all be cleaned up and the roof can be repaired. So, and they do have a dry room they can live in. There are people, plenty of people, many people who lost everything, particularly points south. The people I know were right at the north edge of the eye. So they mostly did not get the surge. And if they had a stable, strong home, they were able to survive it. The oldest part of Englewood is block houses. Those homes, many of them, are nearly 100 years old. They all survived. The trailer parks and new homes surrounding them and north and south of them are gone.
All right. This is.
You need to turn off your YouTube channel or volume.
I'm going to remove this from the stream. Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go.
You're going to have to turn off the volume on YouTube.
All right. BRB.
No, it's still on. You're gone.
No, I'm here. I'm trying to find.
I think you're okay now.
Yeah, that's because I'm
Okay.
actually going outside to.
Okay. So you got away from it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we don't have your picture.
The what? Oh, I don't have.
We cannot see you.
Hold on 1 second. Unless you want to see my condo, but I'm headed downstairs, so. But keep going. So my God, the storm is absolutely devastating. But you know what's I feel really guilty about is the fact that I didn't even know that there was a storm. I don't bother listening to the news. And until it actually hit, and then,
Yeah.
and even then, I didn't even know the full extent of it because, well, frankly, I live in Houston, and I did live through Harvey, by the way. And so, it's kind of like hurricanes are sort of it's a way of life here. I hate to say it.
I think nobody really knows yet the extent of the devastation. I was asking some people today about Fort Myers, downtown Fort Myers, and I've not been able to get any reports. So I don't know how bad it was. I did see some earlier footage of flooding. They got the surge. To what extent, I don't know. There's the magic pot.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us what you've been doing.
Well, I've actually. Oh, I need to clip some of this a bit too. Actually, I'm going to clip this. So I clipped this the other day, and the next thing I know, they actually bloomed blue flowers for a bit. So
nice.
Yeah. But
there was the Bacopa.
No, that was those are like wandering Jews, and like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see that, and then this is some arrowroot. There's some pothos, and then these are just basically weeds I found in the garden.
Nice.
But right here is some water lettuce. Shh, we're in Texas. Java fern. We've got some water sprite. I put some big pond snails in. I'm trying not to. See that big pond snail?
Yep.
There's a couple of big pond snails. I like them. They eat hydra.
Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're not that fast at it, but
right.
I don't know. I just kind of like all the stuff that tends to. I've got a couple of my really large sword plants. Like these are so big, I can't even like keep them in my 75 anymore. And then there's some bacopa right here.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a few wisteria and high grow. There's some high grow right there. Try not to let the light go a little crazy. See the high grow?
Yep.
And of course, cornwort. I kind of try to shove it over there where the baskets are. There is some bacopa that I sort of put into the baskets to see if they would grow.
Right.
Some wisteria. I kind of put in the baskets too to see if they would grow out.
Right.
They probably will. They just have to be acclimated. Today I put in some pygmy sunfish. Oh, and
very good.
Yeah, this. So they're all babies I put in there. I might put in a breeding pair in there at some point, but I want to make sure that the babies kind of like are okay because I'm about to put some guppy endlers in there. You know. Do you know what this? Oh yeah, this is Cambodia. Look at this. This actually grows out of the water, like this part. They grow really, really tall. Oops. All right. No wonder it grew. This one was tall. Down you go. All right. Some more bacopa. But yeah. I'm trying to keep the bacopa in the middle because I want them to like grow more. Now, couple of females. They're mostly females. I asked for mostly females because that's where I want them to. Is this an assassin snail? This looks like an assassin snail in there. Okay, so give me a second. I'm going to have to put this somewhere.
My power went out.
Power went out?
Well, no, I lost. My power went down in my phone.
Oh.
So I had to get a jack, which means I'm now holding it. Silver Creek. Hello, Silver Creek.
Good to have you, Silver Creek.
First Class Fish is here. ABC. Nice to see you guys.
All right. Normally, I actually I don't use the same water, but I'm just going to be lazy right now. You don't. Okay. All right. The last thing I want to do is lose my phone in the water. Although I actually lost my phone in the turtle pond the other day. Like the whole thing went in there, and it was just fine.
I know, I've had that happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Hi.
I'm gonna see about. See if I can. Oops. No. This is gonna be fun. Let's see if this will work.
Fanatical father, have you done a Mary? I talk to Mary every day. In fact, she was here earlier. She may still be here.
I saw her pop in.
She was here right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And we'll be on tomorrow at 6. I hope to have my computer back. I had to take it in. I dropped it or it fell over. I didn't drop it. It fell over the screen broke. So I got a couple of monitors.
Make up for that, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm getting it. I'm getting everything reloaded and disconnecting the touch screen function. So hopefully all of that's going to be okay. Is that your endlers?
Yeah, I'm trying to like set up the phone so that I don't.
I would dump them.
I'm going to. I think there's an assassin snail in there. I'm a little worried. Can you see it okay?
Yep.
All right.
Hey,
Sorry,
Ron.
it got dark so fast.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, it's getting that way. Look, does this look like...
That's a pretty fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like a guppy.
Yeah, they're kind of they're Endler guppy hybrid.
Crosses, yes.
Yeah.
Right. Silver Creek added 9 new rocks and slate to my 120. Looking pretty. Need to add more sand. Molly's moved it all to the back.
Yeah, I want to get some sailfin. All right, there they are. Exploring their new home.
All right.
Little anticlimactic.
No.
Probably because it's dark. But
No.
I think I didn't empty the whole bag because I think I have an assassin snail in here and I don't want them to die here.
Oh, right.
Look, you see that? Is that an assassin snail?
I can't tell.
It's looks like yellow and black striped cone.
Could be. Sounds like.
I like snails. I'll hold on to this guy. See if...
Yeah, take him somewhere else.
Yeah, I'll see if he is or not. Oh my God, there's a baby guppy in here already.
Wow.
Yeah, see that? That's a baby guppy. I guess the stress made them. Okay, now I'm gonna have to definitely put the phone down. Excuse me. I gotta make sure this guppy makes it in there. It's such a little baby. Look.
Oh, he's in the bag, you mean?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, he stayed in the bag. Oops. I gotta...
Oh, ABC won second place in the aquascaping competition.
Oh, really? That's so cool.
Congratulations, ABC.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. You have the touch.
I mean, I was just gushing over his hardscape, if you recall, a couple of weeks ago.
That's right. Yep.
He's got some nice hardscape. The guy has it's kind of like one of those like, I remember, like, he doesn't overdo it. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right, where's this guppy? I gotta rescue the guppy. Where's the guppy? There you are. Or whatever.
Put the snail in your hand between your fingers and dump the guppy.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, because it looks like he's killed all of the Malaysian trumpet snails.
Likely.
All right, you little thing, you.
Hopefully he's the only one.
It looks that way. There you go. Come on, guppy. All right, baby's in there.
All right. PHX Fish. Phoenix Fish. Hello.
See that? That's a. He went right for the water sprite.
I was very disappointed that I was not able to make the Keystone Clash. I got out of the hospital that Friday that they started, and I was in no condition to move. But I'm looking forward to next year.
Yeah. How is your health doing? Is it getting better? Feeling
I'm
stronger?
feeling better. I don't have any strength. I've got to get out and be. I've got to get out and walk every day.
Yeah, you do.
I have no stamina, so I need a stamina coach.
I really, really hope these endlers don't. The baby's like literally right here. And I see scuds in there, by the way. So the endlers are going to be very happy.
Oh yeah, that's a great tank for them.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I know that I don't even have to feed this tank. I know that they've got lots and lots of food in there, like even the babies.
Right. Fanatical wants to know if I've got fish. I have a few. I've got in this tank. There are a couple of uh, pygmy sunfish. Nothing in that one. Virtually nothing there. Now let me show you these. In this tank, I'm on a short wire. See if we can see this. These are fish I brought back from a mountain river, a mountain creek, I guess, in Virginia. I don't know if you can see them.
Yeah. Were you ever able to identify them properly?
No, they're darter. I've not looked them up. I need to do that.
Okay.
And then I have some natives in the 40-gallon over there. Still have not decided what I want to do, but I'm thinking about it. And I'm thinking I'm gonna do some probably small South American tetra types. Uh, I want to do pencil fish, um, some of the ruby reds, just cool, pretty little fish. That's the plan, anyway.
You know, over the summer, I didn't put anything in this tank in terms of food. I don't know if you can see it, but the fish are.
Well, there's all kind of natural food in there.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I'm just going to let them swim.
Yeah, I would not put any food in it. The problem with putting food in a natural tank is that it throws it out of balance.
Yeah.
Because it creates an unnatural source of nutrition that's not being created by the tank, but that's coming in from outside. And that throws the balance out. So in a natural tank, it is never a good idea to put fish food in.
I'm planning. You know what? I know you say that, but I've got a ton of scuds that are annoying me. I'm putting more scuds. I just realized I've got fish. These fat.
Well, okay, but what you're doing is you're maintaining that population beyond the natural ability of the tank to sustain that level of population.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can do it and you can get away with it for a while, but
Yeah.
ultimately it crashes. You know, ultimately because it's a being that the natural balance is being challenged on a routine basis.
Oh, if I put more and more scuds in there?
more and more food.
Oh, more food. But like, I'm not talking about like fish food. I'm
Oh,
talking.
you're talking about scuds putting
Yeah.
them in. Well, that balances itself out. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if the scuds cannot find food, they're not going to survive,
That's so.
and they're going to be eaten now. The
Yeah.
guppies will eat them.
Oh yeah.
So, and the baby scuds will be eaten by the pygmies. So that's a natural condition, and that's able to balance itself out. I'm
I.
talking about dry, dead uh, protein and fatty material that gets dumped into the body of water, into the tank on a routine basis.
You know what I
That
just realized? Do you remember that? What was that meat you had every single day for like? Oh look, they're already the male and female are already chasing each other. What was that meat you had like every single day that for like weeks that got put you in the hospital?
oh yeah, this is my newest theory.
Yeah.
Um, um, God, I've blocked it out of my brain now. Uh,
It was so you have food PTSD.
yeah, really.
Yeah. It's that fake, animal byproduct stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's pig byproduct.
Right.
When
Pig.
they butcher the pig, everything that's leftovers ground up together, they throw spices in it, cook it up,
Yeah.
and sell it by the pound. And it has a unique flavor that I kind of grew up on.
Yeah.
Scrapple. It's
I get
called Scrapple. Scrapple.
yeah, scrapple.
I ate it every day for well over a month.
I
Once
just
a day, one slice a
I
day, but a thick slice, like
yeah.
half to three-quarter of an inch thick slice. So I was eating like probably a quarter of a pound of it every day for well over a month. And I think it did a number on my gut,
Yeah, I think
which, because I was on blood thinners,
mm-hmm.
caused bleeding. So I'm off of that stuff. No
Well,
more scrapple
I
for
feel
me.
like that stuff was your fish was like equates to like the fake fish food.
Well, not a bad comparison. That's about right. The difference is we have to put food in our gut.
Yeah.
So whereas we don't have to put food in the tank.
Yeah.
Well, we do, but we don't. We have to put the right kind of material in the tank, which is what leaves are all about.
Yeah.
Because leaves are what all of the microfauna feed on,
Right.
bacteria and fungus as well. So that forms the foundation of the food web.
Dude, there's shrimp in here. Like
Phosphates and salt. Good chance, first class. Very likely. I think it just, yeah, black pudding. I've never had black pudding. It's also called blood pudding.
ooh.
Um, and that's what it is. That's blood. I can't imagine that would really hurt you. Now, the bleeding I was doing
Oh my god,
was,
Earth.
well,
There's
I don't even want to get into it.
another one just popped out.
What?
Like another one just another baby life bearer just popped out.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
in front of me. It just like popped out and ran into the hornwort.
So she's dropping them.
Like this one. Do you see that one? She just dropped one.
How about that? Cool.
Yeah, like right in front of me. It was like, hello. And then I see like now there's scuds running around.
Scrabble. PPLE. SCRAPPLE. Yeah, Scrabble. That's a board game.
Yeah, Scrabble's great. All right.
Yeah, Bass Queen talking about mosquito larvae, and the baby bass is keeping
Yeah,
mosquito population down. That's right.
I'm sure that these will keep the population down too. Oh, look, they
Yeah.
just one of them just ate a bug on the surface.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like a little obsessed here. This is technically my first live bearer that like the Formosa.
That's right. That's right. How about that? That's exciting.
Yeah. Oh, look, and like there's another one popped out, and it ran into the sword, the sword plant.
Right.
That's crazy. I'm gonna.
That's what you're talking about. Fried cornmeal much. Yeah, it is a problem with cornmeal too because it's very difficult for the body to digest corn and cornmeal. So it can be a problem. More about my colonoscopy.
Yeah. Yeah, that I'm sure
Oh,
that
dear.
you're gonna really.
Well, you know, I got down there Tuesday morning. I went into the hospital on Monday. Tuesday morning, 7 o'clock, they had me in the OR, and the doctor who was going to do the colonoscopy came over to me and he said, "We have a problem." So I asked him what the problem was. He said, "Well, I cannot operate on you because you have not been seen by a cardiologist." And some of the clinicians here are saying that that would amount to medical malpractice.
Yeah, you had to argue with them.
Right. So I said, well, you know, this is a real problem because I really need to do this. And he said, I'll be back in a minute. He came back and he said, well, the problem is the anesthetic. If we do not give you an anesthetic, then we can do the procedure. And I said, well, I'm good for that because I wanted to be able to watch it anyway. So he said, great. And he took me in there, and the battle continued even while I was in the RO. Before they started, they were still arguing about this, and I was in on the argument. I said, you've got all of my records from Florida about my heart and all of that. So you've got the documentation. And he said, well, the doctor may have it, but it's not in the hospital records. Well, I knew it was because I had been given information that could only have been derived from those records. So I said, yes, it is. He said, now, wait a minute, let me look. And he said, well, 45 pages. How am I going to read 45 pages? And everybody just looked at him and he backed off. So they began the procedure. And I learned the difference between extreme discomfort and pain.
Yeah.
And it is a fine line, but there is a difference. So I was groaning and at the same time utterly fascinated. He said that the doctor said, my, you have a clean colon. Good job on the prep.
Oh, God.
And I said, well, I could not even imagine it would be that pink. My guts were pink. But he pointed out there were polyps. He removed 11 polyps, and I was able to watch that. And he also pointed out a number of pockets. I can't remember what they're called. Somebody will know.
Yeah.
And that's where the bleeding likely came from. Was those pockets. He said there's no treatment for it. They don't know what causes it. It seems to be associated with old age.
Oh.
So, but it creates an environment where bleeding becomes a lot easier because it's a thinner wall. So anyway, What is that called? Somebody type it in.
Yeah, while I'm listening to you, I'm literally watching this one mama, whatever Endler hybrid. Literally,
Yeah.
I've literally watched her pop out 3 or 4 of them, and then it just instantly shoots to the hornwort. It's like it knows. And one of the
ABC ate some Scrabble pieces the other day and went to the doctor, but no word yet. Funny guy. Mr. McCarthy, hello. So anyway, I got through that. I had at one point, he got right to the end of it, almost over. And he said, I can't make that last spin. Your colon is twisted. So he had these 2 big men hauling on my gut, one side to the other, to get my colon turned, untwisted, so he could get the camera in there. And they did it.
Well, all without any painkillers and all while you're conscious.
All without painkillers, watching it the whole time.
Lovely.
So when I came out of the OR, all the nurses stood and applauded.
I would.
It was funny.
Yeah, I would.
Well, let's see. Corey is saying my fern has little plants with roots hanging on the tips. Yep, perfect. That's what they do. That's what they do. Now, if you have a Java fern that drops its leaves, don't take them out because those leaves will grow babies.
Yeah. All right. I have shrimp in here too. I think I'll put more. All right. I'm going to go head upstairs.
Diverticulitis, it's called. Thank you.
Yeah.
First class. He said he almost died from it. Well, I did too. I bled out to the point where I got 3 pints of whole blood. My blood was down to 7. Whatever it is, the red blood cell count was down to 7, and below that is danger. So I was right on the edge of it. First class is full of himself here.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just trying to get upstairs and make sure I don't have any more baby guppies.
Grandma was the Energizer Bunny for 99 years. Bravo, Vasquez. You'll probably live this long.
Yeah. Oops.
Thanks. Kenny D. Hello, Kenny.
Yay, Spaghetti Nana.
Kenny Nana's here, right?
Yeah. Sorry for all the, Silver Creek Aquatics. Hello. Sorry about all of the excitement. I know it was a pretty poor thing, but that was my compulsive purchase. But it's for the greater good.
The greater good, the very thing.
Yeah, the greater good is that I'm going to let them hang out there for a while, and then when the turtle pond build is done, I'm going to be taking them to.
Absolutely. Well, that'll be nice.
Yeah.
Are we going to get you back?
Yes. Give me a second.
You got it. Oh, anyway, so tomorrow night, Marianne will do another an updated report on the hurricane here tomorrow night. No one was injured of the people I know that I've heard of so far. We have not received reports from the Fort Myers Club, only from the president, and she's fine, but no word beyond that yet. So by tomorrow, we should hear something about them. So some pretty severe property damage, but no one injured. So blessings for that. What else? Let's see.
I'm muted. Sorry. Yeah, I had to put the headphones on because
Hi.
this kid
Hi.
is loud.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, they're fun.
Want pizza?
I do, but not right now. Thank you.
Good girl.
Yeah. Okay, so hi. I lost one of my beta fish this week. I'm really quite upset because it could have been prevented. And this is again one of those stories. I know that you told a few live streams ago. You talked about how heaters can malfunction.
Right.
Well, most of the time when a heater malfunctions, it just stops working, correct?
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah, not in this case. The beta wasn't looking so good, so I put him in kind of a quarantine tank with I just put him in a salt bath, like with a little bit of salt in it, and he wasn't like bad. I was just thinking, yeah, he looks a little bit, because I had to move him, so he's a little stressed. So I'm gonna put him in a salt bath and see, or like with a tank with a little bit of salt. You know how it is, just to
Right.
potentially kill any bacteria or parasites. And I put a heater in there to crank it, to 82, 84, something like that. I get up the next morning and he's dead. And I'm like, he wasn't that bad. How did this happen? Did I stress him out completely? He's a pretty hardy fish. Then I tested the water temperature and it was almost 95.
Yeah. Yeah, heaters can be a bear. And there are times when you have to have them. So you're kind of stuck for it. I think the critical thing is to get heaters that fault off, that cannot freeze on. How you find that out without knowing how they're put together is a good trick. Basically, they have a temperature sensitive little tab inside that moves, and when it makes contact at a certain temperature, then current flows through it and it heats up the coil. If that contact is made of material that can corrode, it will stick together. There are still companies in China that are making them that way. The other thing that happens is where the wire connects to the coil is a weak spot in the system. And if it overheats, it'll burn that connection. And of course, make the heater stop working.
Right.
So that's not nearly as bad.
No,
and that's repairable. They really both are. The trick with the new heaters is to learn how to get the rubber plug out of the glass tube. And there's one very simple trick to doing it. And that is whatever you're using to press on the rubber, you never allow it to touch the glass. Because the second it touches the glass is going to break. And it's game over.
Right.
So the idea is to press on the rubber to break the seal where it's stuck to the glass. And once you do that, you can pull it out and repair it and then put it back in. But the trick, if you try to do this, is you can use a knife or a screwdriver, but whatever you use, do not let it even touch the glass, because the pressure from the rubber against the knife will be enough to break the glass. And it'll happen before you think it's a problem. So that's the trick.
Well, I mean, I've the heaters I've ordered from Amazon, they have a temperature controller outside, and then they're all completely encased. So I'm hoping I'll have a little bit better luck with those. Like instead of
Right.
the glass being exposed, they're like completely encased. So, hey, I thought since ABC is asking, I thought you would like to. By the that was me answering ABC about the pygmy sunfish, but I thought you might want to answer this question. Top 5 beginner native fish.
I see this.
Yeah.
Huh. Pretty good. Certainly darters,
Mm-hmm.
sunfish,
Pygmy
top
sunfish.
5.
Yeah.
One of my favorite is the chain pickerel. I think it's just a stunningly beautiful fish and a dramatic fish. Gobies, all of the gobies are fascinating.
Bass Queen suggesting bluegill.
Yeah, well, blue. I would add kind of rank that with the sunfish. That would be in that category.
Mm-hmm.
Sticklebacks are fascinating, and probably one of the most interesting North American native fish is the can't remember what it's called, the pupfish. I don't know if the name will come to me or not.
Okay.
Funny.
What about tiny ones?
Well, those are tiny.
Okay.
They're small. They're not. They're like an inch.
Okay.
The tiny ones, like the Yellowsoma, that's a half an inch fish.
Yes.
They're.
Although I've got some big ones.
Yeah, I got one nearly an inch.
Yeah, I've got some big ones that
There's so many
definitely
really wonderful
yeah.
North American fish. Beautiful, beautiful fish. The darters and the sunfish are certainly the prettiest.
What about golden top minnows?
Well, it's a gorgeous fish. It has a relatively limited range, but the males can get 3 to 4 inches, and they get tremendous color.
Yeah,
they're really quite a beautiful fish.
I'm hoping to
Great
get some
question,
sunfish.
see.
Yeah, great question. I'm hoping to get some golden top minnows. So the turtle pond that I'm building for the middle school, where first we have to dig it, but I've already set aside plants. I already have figured. I know that turtles do tend to dig, so I've kind of figured out a way around that. But then turtles these red-eared sliders are actually more herbivores than they are carnivores.
That's true.
Yeah,
they're opportunistic.
Yeah, they are. They're opportunistic, and so the fish I would put in there have to be pretty quick.
They got to be able to move around. You can't do bettas, right?
Oh no, absolutely not. No. And there won't be a heater in there either.
Right.
But those little Endler guppy hybrids, obviously,
hopefully will be fine.
Yeah, but I was thinking flagfish and golden top minnows as well.
Well, flagfish are interesting. They're a bit aggressive, but in a pond they should work out just fine. I wanted to see this. Kenny D is giving kudos to first class fish, and this deserves notice and repeating. He says the knowledge, experience you have will only further the love of fish keeping. So pleased to have met you. Wishing you, your family, peace, love, and life blessings. Yes, indeed. We appreciate both Kenny D and First Class Fish for being faithful in our stream.
ABC says he's had some issues with his golden top minnows he's had for about 3 weeks. Apparently they had some kind of fungal disease and died within a week.
Huh.
Yeah, that
They might
sucks.
have been injured. It's hard to say.
Yeah, they are pretty aggressive.
Yeah, they
So
are somewhat delicate.
I did. I remember at one point I had when I got some of my pea puffers, one of them died within a day, and I realized that it was because when they were in the bag together, one of them got injured because they were in a bag together.
Right.
So that one, poor thing, he didn't make it. But then I've got 12, so. um, who let's see here. There was another comment or question. Yeah, everybody hit the like, please.
First class
Um,
station made a comment about the contacts on the heaters, and
yes.
we're going to get back to it, and I lost it. So if you see
Yeah.
it, pop that up.
I don't know what heater I got. I just know that it was relatively, it was relatively, it was on Amazon. Got a couple of them. They were relatively inexpensive, but I made sure that they had the temperature gauge on them, as well as the ability to change the temperature outside of, rather than having to stick your hand in there. And then I also got them that they were completely enclosed, so
Right.
no glass at all, kind of thing. Oh, and another fish I want to put in the turtle pond is sailfin mollies.
Oh yes.
Native sailfin mollies.
Yeah, the males just glow and flash in a pond.
Mm-hmm.
It's really ideal.
I would love to get a pumpkin seed or sunfish or a what do you call that? I think it's an orange spotted sunfish.
They will eat up all your little fish.
I know. I just want. I'm not saying put them in the turtle pond. I just say they're cute.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably be able to catch some of those come this spring.
Yeah, I don't want bluegill because those bluegill sunfish, they actually get like 12 inches if you let them.
Right.
Yeah, they're pretty large. But the pumpkin seeds are really pretty, and I've heard that the orange spotted ones are really gorgeous. Although those are hard to catch. So, First Class Fish is saying that the innovative marine helio heaters are interesting.
Ah, okay.
Now, recently,
that.
Aquarium Co-op designed a heater, and it's been very, very recent. Say what you will about the guy. I just want to know if the product is actually decent or not. I can't wait to see what the videos out there are like.
Right.
Yeah, orange spotted sunfish are beautiful. AVC. So, the long ear sunfish are really pretty. I was doing a lot of research on sunfish recently, but the long ear sunfish I heard are pretty. Can be a little bit more aggressive. I don't know if that's true.
Oh, that's interesting. First Class says the helios don't use the bimetal contact.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Bass Queen says she's only seen 2 pumpkin seeds. Cold Water Aquatics has got a pumpkin seed.
Yeah, he did. That's right. I was on with them last night.
Oh, yeah? Oh, I missed that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love his channel. Love his family. Love his collection of fish.
Oh my God, I love the hardscape. I've gotten into a little bit of an obsession with hardscape recently.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we are running over a bit. We're at 9:15.
How are you feeling?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Kenny's saying, Lou, I hope you're feeling better these days. Stay healthy, do well. Thanks for your kind words. Always best to you. Yeah. Kenny is a dream. I met Kenny through the Venice Aquarium Society.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he attended meetings when we started out, and then moved to Arizona. He and his daughter. Yeah.
Moved to Arizona where there isn't a lot of water.
So we lost him. Right.
Yeah. Lumpy Dog says he had a pet pumpkin seed for when he was a teenager, hand fed it for years.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. Yeah, they're I don't know. I think they're cool. So, I'm glad that you got in touch with people. I'm glad to hear that most of our friends are well, all of our friends are safe anyway.
Amen. Amen. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I pray that the damages will be fixed and things will be better than it was before. But and I know there was life lost and injuries, but it's selfish of me, but I'm grateful that the fish family is
Amen.
relatively
Amen.
unscathed.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Cogent Aquatics, Cogent Keith Hanshaw.
Mm-hmm. Crystals is here. Hi, Crystals.
Crystal. Hello, Crystal. Nice to see you.
Mm-hmm. I want.
Lucky dog.
Okay. So you were telling me that there was a cichlid that I should get at some point.
Yeah, the Geophagus. Whoops.
Talking about that guy?
That's one of them. There are a bunch of different species of them, and they're absolutely stunning fish. They're gentle. They're a little bigger. They get like 5-6 inches. Some can get a little bigger. There are probably a dozen different species, and they're all very, very beautiful, graceful, relatively easy to spawn.
Really? How do you spawn I mean, this is kind of like a cichlid, right?
It is a cichlid.
So how do you spawn cichlids?
They're a hardscape spawner.
Oh, like what I hear about with angels?
Yeah, that's right. The angel will spawn on a vertical surface. The Geophagus spawns on a horizontal surface, like a rock.
Like a rock or
Something on the bottom.
Right. So like maybe a like a ceramic pot or something.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Ah.
Yeah. Piece of slate. Yeah. Most breeders use slate for that purpose. It's smooth, and it's you can cut it to size.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I have a couple of flat rocks, maybe. Yeah, well, I don't know. Anyways, I think I need to deal with what I have. I have like 50 baby scarlet baddises. I found a baby scarlet baddis in a completely different tank, and I don't even know how it got there.
Wow. Michael Brennan. Hello, Michael.
Hi,
from
Michael.
California. Nice to see you.
Craig says he's bred the geos.
What species, Brad?
Aaron says he had great fun breeding firemouth cichlids.
Firemouth is a great fish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not a geo. But it's in the same family.
Okay.
And it's it's a very colorful fish. Pretty easy to keep. A little more aggressive, but not terribly aggressive. Not like some of the other Central Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Another range of fish are cichlids, are chocolate cichlids.
Okay.
Uwaru, any of those kinds of fish that are, again, very gentle. They don't get real big. Trying to think what some of the others are. It's not coming to me.
What is Fanatical says he's got a bunch of EBA, which I'm assuming is short for something. He says they're dicks. Jerks. We'll go with jerks.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a Central American cichlid.
Oh, okay. First class says fire mouths were one of his first fish ever. Are they popular still?
They're inexpensive, and it's a larger, pretty fish. Has a lot of red on the jaw,
Okay.
so it's a fish that electric blue acara, EBA, electric blue
Oh,
acara,
I
right?
think those are really pretty.
They are pretty.
Really
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Fanatical got it before I did. Maybe I'll get some bluegill. Corey's gonna get some bluegill.
Yeah.
Fanatical said mainly because they eat everything and anything.
Oh.
Yeah, Andy wound up with about 50 of them.
50 acaras?
50 acaras, right.
Oh, God.
Yeah. He's a rescuer.
Oh, yeah. People with the fish get over aggressive.
Right.
The Juliochromis are nice cichlids and not too big shell dwellers. Yeah, I do like tiny and colony bred. So
Well, the Tanganyikas there are a lot of Tanganyikas that are just absolutely remarkable fish. And the Julie's certainly among them. The Julie's one of the prettiest.
Ooh, I have to look now.
There are 3 or 4, I think 3 different species of Juliochromis, ornatus, ornatopennant,
how do I
marlin
spell
rye.
this? Juliochromis.
Juliochr, OMIS. Nice fish, pretty
Images.
fish from Lake Tanganyika.
From Tanganyika?
Yeah. There are a lot
Oh my gosh.
Tanganyika. Aren't they pretty?
Oh my gosh. Look at them.
2 inches.
Oh my.
2.5 inches. Yeah.
2.5 inches?
Yeah, they stay pretty small.
They're gorgeous.
They are. There's so
Oh.
many. There's so many Tanganyika fish that
Look, he's in a kind of like
and
a shell.
that's the marlin, I think.
That's the Malarai.
Yeah.
Look at this one. Look at the fins on that
Aren't they
one.
something? Yeah.
Yeah. I like the blue on this one. Okay, now I'm obsessed. We need to. I've got the fish bug again.
There you go.
Kill me.
I know. You guys need to move into a farm.
Oh, look, Bow Wow says he's got about 30 scarlet baddest fry. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Well, I was at the store today and I mentioned, where I got the guppy, Endler guppies, and also I got the orange neocaradinas. Very excited about those. And I mentioned what I had to the store owner, and I showed him a picture. He didn't know what the Pygmy Sunfish was, and I showed him a picture, and he's like, "Oh, they're pretty. When are they going to get bigger?" And
really?
I told him that they wouldn't stop breeding. So
yeah,
you told me that. You told me they loved it.
You're going to be able to do a lot of training with those once you get a little size on them.
Yeah,
that'll be nice.
Yeah, I like them. I like their personality.
Bow wow.
Grenwood says I need a property. She seconds that.
Oh yeah, absolutely you do.
Yeah.
Gotta happen.
It's gotta happen. In the meantime, I've got an outlet. The middle school wants me to do a presentation about, first of all, the nitrogen cycle and how the fish pond is going to work from, how the water flow is going to work, and then what the science is behind it, and then the nitrogen cycle. And then I'm going to be doing a presentation on the types of fish and animals and wildlife and the ecosystem of what makes it balanced. So
nice.
Yeah.
So that'll let you set a bunch of tanks up.
Yes.
That's the plan, right?
I'm making all the science teachers at the middle school my BFFs.
Well, that's going to work fine until you hit the summer. Then you're going to have to figure out how to deal with it.
Wallstead bowls.
I know. Been there, done that.
I've literally got a bowl that's been going. It's a 3-gallon bowl.
Goldfish bowls. Yeah, right.
No, Walstead.
The
Walstead.
Walstead bowls.
Yes. I've
Right.
literally got a 3-gallon Walstead bowl. And it's not even a Walstead. It's just, some dirt and sand and a little bit of rocks. But it's like, it's got, various types of,
Right.
I mean, all I have to do is I don't do anything with it. There's shrimp in there. I put a couple of baby fish. When they got bigger, I took them out. But it's literally filled almost to the brim with plants. In fact, the Luigia and the Bacopa and some of the penny, whatever this little thing is, some of the stuff is like growing out. And there's just shrimp in there, and that's all they do. It's like I just sits there, and that's all it. I don't change the water, nothing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
See what else we got here. Grand.
Mm-hmm. Chick of the Sea is here.
Hey, look at the sea. Good to see you.
Yeah. The school's not closed during the summer. My son was at the school all summer long working.
Oh, well, so long as they got AC in the rooms, then
yeah,
you're going to be okay. That'll be good. Plus,
yes.
you're setting up natural systems anyway, so they're not going to need to be fed every day.
Exactly. In fact, they probably don't even need to be fed at all when you think about it.
Precisely.
That patio pond that I have down there before I let the water grow foul, I never fed it. And I had a million baby flagfish in there. I never fed it. Not once. Like, I don't plan on feeding. Well, I mean, I'm going to throw some scuds in there just because they annoy me.
Explain how it went foul.
I had a built-in pump in there, and I shouldn't have done it, but I thought, let's put a little bit of a fountain or something, make it look pretty, blah, blah, blah. And I
decided to use it.
Yeah, I mean, like it was off all summer, because I thought that what was happening was that because I didn't want the water circulation during the summer because it was so hot. It was cool at the bottom, it was warm at the top, and I wanted it, if you circulate the water, it all becomes warm, and I didn't want that. So I kind of just let the water lettuce grow and cover the whole top so that would give it a little bit of shade, and just left it alone. Put some water in a can. I didn't even put dechlorinated water in. I just put, I have a hose nearby. I didn't bother with putting dechlorinated water in. Is that bad?
No, you did fine.
Yeah.
Until
it got a little cooler.
Excited.
Yeah, I got a little cooler.
Very excited because what spawned?
Flagfish.
The flagfish spawned.
A bunch of
them.
Because I was kind of like cleaning out the top a little bit because the water lettuce is getting a little cooler. And so I'm just doing a little bit of gardening. And then I got really excited. I saw the baby flagfish. And then I kind of created an opening, and I wanted, the water to flow a little bit again. And so I turned it on and then within 12 hours, I walk out and it smells bad.
Right.
It smells
So what precisely happened?
The dirt that I put under at the bottom, and then I covered it with sand. That little pump exposed the dirt, the nutrients, the humus, and not only exposed it, but blew it all into the entire patio pond.
Right.
And it
killed
the water.
Everything.
It killed everything. I didn't have a single living thing in there after that.
Right.
It killed all of my baby flagfish. All of them.
I know.
I was devastated. I'm still hurt.
I know.
I've been so good at keeping fish alive for so long that I haven't had these kind of devastating moments. I mean, gosh, it's going to be a year Thanksgiving.
That's right. That's right. Well, you can be too nice, can't you?
I put
So
a.
you're starting over again.
I did.
Did you empty
I had to empty the whole thing.
Did you?
I
Okay.
did the whole thing. I mean, maybe there was like a little bit of, I had to get rid of all the foul stuff. And then I added more sand. I covered the damn pump. Excuse my French.
Cover it up.
I covered it up. It will never see the light of day again.
Bravo.
And then because the water was still a little bit like, I emptied it to like maybe half an inch, but it still smelled, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It is residue even because it rotted the plants. It rotted the water lettuce inside out.
Amazing, isn't it?
It didn't just kill the fish, it killed the plants. The bacopa lived, by the way.
Ah.
I'm shocked about that. All the other plants were all practically dead. So I put a large sponge filter in there, hoping to just like, as the water circulates, it maybe will gather some of the particles.
Right.
Thank you, First Class Fish. He gave us a super sticker.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah. And you know, I just left it. You know, I just left it alone, you know.
Right.
I couldn't even look at it for a while.
Yeah, I know.
Was so upset. And then I kind of had to break down my 75 because frankly, my sword plants, they're over 2 feet. Like they're taller than, like what's the height of a standard 75 gallon? Like what is it? 2 feet, 21 inches?
22, I think.
22? Yeah. My sword plants are well over 2 feet.
The height of the tank. Nice.
And I can't, I mean, I'm having to kind of, I realize I have to start over with some of my plants in the 75 because they're just too tall.
I remember doing a canoe trip in the Crystal River in Florida, northern Florida.
Yes.
And there were swords growing in the river. And one of them had a footprint that was just about 10 feet wide. And it was at least 4 foot tall.
That sounds about right, because those things spread. That was half my problem in the 75.
Plant.
Yeah.
Now, there were hundreds of individual plants in that colony. But that's how they grow. They grow by they grow in several different ways. They will attach, grow as a bud on the ball, on the root ball. They will grow as a runner, sending out a runner with new plants on the runner, and they will also propagate by seed. They flower and will make seeds that'll propagate. They will not propagate by cutting. That doesn't work with swords.
No, but I do cut them back a little bit because they just get so freaking big. So I'm going to have to be donating some of these sword plants to the turtle pond. The turtle pond's going to be so big, it's going to be.
That'll be nice. That'll be perfect.
I'll have to put them in. I'm going to have to put them in sort of like pots with soil and some, like, I'll have to move it, like, you know, just make sure that the turtles can't dig at it. You know what I mean? I don't care if they eat the leaves. The leaves will grow back. They're not going to devastate it. There's going to be so much in there that they'll be eating. But I also have 2 feet tall tiger lily bulbs. Like I just let them get really big, and then I get a lot of runners from them, like a ton of runners.
Nice.
So I kind of just like let those 2 large tiger lilies be, and I get babies. So I'm going to be taking all of my large plants and I'm going to be putting them in the turtle pond. And so I thought, well, in the meantime, I'll just start putting some in the patio pond because I just realized it was tall enough. And that's when I was finally able to emotionally get over the loss of my flagfish.
Right. Sad. I know it was sad. I was there when it happened.
I know.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's see. They got side conversation going.
Yeah, they're talking about nanos,
Battery
nano.
operated stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean, that makes a big difference when we're talking about hurricanes now.
you bet. You bet.
Temperature about 4 degrees. First class fish. What's dying? Ram's horn and I don't have it.
Snails, yeah.
Hey, first class, if you want some of my bright red ram's horns and my bladder snails and my purple ram's horns, you are more than welcome to them. Because even with 12 pea puffers, I still can't. And the golden top minnows even eat the snails. Nope, still can't control the population.
First class is asking about a snail dial based on adding a heater and raising the temperature, and that nails it right there. Because by doing that, you increase the oxygen demand and reduce the oxygen level. So basically, it suffocated the snails.
Can cyanobacteria do the same thing?
Can cyano burn off oxygen? Is the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it takes a hell of a culture of it for that to happen. I've never seen it happen.
It did in
But
my
it
3
certainly
gallon.
can happen if it gets way out of hand and just takes over every surface. I guess it could.
It did in my 3 gallon. Usually when it comes to those small little, the one that failed, usually when it comes to those small little bowls, and it failed because I had way too much of.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was a learning experience. But usually when I'm trying to I guess you could say when I'm trying to see how the ecosystem's going to balance, I don't throw in something I value right away. I throw in snails and I throw in scuds and I see what happens. And they died.
well aerated. I think I still killed them with that small temperature raise over that time frame.
I've seen.
I'm sure.
I've seen them dead.
Yeah. Well, snails can't get to the surface as easily.
Yeah. All right, first class. Where do you what area are you talking about here? Because apparently he's got my pennywort, and now he wants my ram's horns. And I wish I could send you some snails fanaticals. I know you're in the UK. That they're. I tell you what, if I ever go to Europe, I'll bring a bunch of ram's horns.
Funny.
Oh. I'm sorry about your snails, first class.
Aaron Relentless, thank you for the $5.
Oh.
And he says, had a visitor admiring the platy tank, told him I didn't feed the fish. The tank does. Mind blown. Told him to do father fish homework on YouTube. Good job, Aaron. Good job.
This is why I'm excited about the middle school group that's starting with all the science classes. I literally have the opportunity to tell them, don't go to Petco or PetSmart. Don't go to the big box stores. They know nothing.
Right. Zachary, hello. Nice to see you.
I'll contact you on Discord, first class. I'm so sorry. It's been crazy, but I'll do that tonight. So, and if I don't, Fatherfish will kick me will slap me in the back of my head.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Yeah.
Zachary. And AJ, how's it going? Going well, Zachary. Thank you. I'm going to do another report on the hurricane tomorrow night with Mary. So we'll get people, and I should have some updated information, particularly about the Fort Myers folks. I've got people looking into that for me. Okie dokie.
Okay. Real quick, hold on. 1-2 Thunder is asking, and I want to show him. So I'm going to get on my phone again. So.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, I know. Give me a second. I'm going
Succeed in getting green water with salt water for your BBS. Yeah, she's the green water master. You know, we really need to get AJ's fish keeping focused on food web, because she's doing more and doing better food web than anybody else I know. Just really remarkable. She's going to show us some green water. She maintains more than one culture of green water. Oh, she was there and lost it.
Yeah. Give me a second. I'm trying to turn the camera around.
Okay.
Front camera. No.
Now this is on her patio.
Yeah. This is why my husband gets on me sometimes.
Right.
Okay.
Here we go.
You know what? The only problem with the salt water is that it keeps burning out my it keeps burning out my air pumps.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that brine shrimp in there?
That's brine shrimp in there, and that's nasty green stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that is. I wish I had something to play with it, but yeah, I try to keep a air bubbler in there sometimes, but as you can see, there's your nasty green stuff right there along the sides. And you know what? Because of the salinity, I just throw in some. Actually, I'm glad you reminded me. I just throw in some green water, just fresh green water, so I can keep the salinity down.
The brine shrimp fed, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So show us your green water.
Well, I just emptied one.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to reduce some of it. But this is one of them, except the water lettuce got a little out of control. There was one here that I was using, but I'm trying to like rearrange my patio. But here, see that dark stuff?
Wow.
That, my friends, is green water.
Well, it certainly is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I filter it when I take some out and I filter, and actually I take some of the water that I removed from the fish tanks and I put it in here. And yeah, it's really dark. I put some in my Daphnia tanks earlier. So I need to move some things around because I don't need as much green water as I thought I did. It's so easy to make green water. You just put a bunch of fertilizer in and dirt and sand, and next thing you know, leave it in the sun. It turns green, dark green.
Oh, here's Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Aquarium is maintained by Andy.
Oh, hey, how are you? Yeah. So. Yeah.
Mermaid's Chorus. Hello, Mermaid's Chorus.
Sorry about the glare.
Is this Andy from Englewood?
I'm trying to so you can see it moving. You see them moving?
Oh yeah. That's brine shrimp.
They're breeding.
That's wonderful. Look at that. Now, how did you start that?
Oh, I just took some old brine shrimp. I made brine shrimp. The baby brine shrimp.
Wash them out, right?
Yeah, and I just threw them in there. Threw them in out
the
here.
Water that was left.
Yeah, I just took the leftover water stuff. That's all I did.
Right.
I didn't do anything else. And now, I noticed that they were moving, so I was like, what do I do? And so you told me to put some fresh green water in there, so I did. And actually, I need to put some more in. So if you don't mind, how do I set this up? I'm gonna put this in there. This is a little bit of. I don't even bother with because it's salty. I don't even bother with filtering the green water.
Right.
Because there's just no reason to. But yeah, right. They and like I leave it a little bit in the sun, and this nasty stuff just grows.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you don't mind. Yeah. So, usually put a stone in there. It was working yesterday, but unfortunately, I think I burned out.
Oh my goodness. Andy's Burchardi eggs hatched. Wonderful.
Nice.
That's such a neat fish.
Yeah. Oh, now I have to. Dang it. I'm going to have to find another one. Oh, this is where I put some of my, this is where I have a lot of, like, this is where I have those, it's nasty looking, but, and you can see the glare, but this is where I have those tiger lily bulbs and those dwarf lilies, and they just keep throwing runners in there, so I just throw stuff in there. In the meantime, there's so many scuds. They're annoying.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And ram's horns and pond snails and bladder snails and stuff. So, all right. I'm going to go back inside. I need to, when we get off the live stream, I'm going to have to find another pump that hasn't burned out because of how do I keep, like, I like to keep it. Here's the thing.
I don't think you need it.
I know I don't. I just like to every once in a while. But no, you're right. I don't. I mean, they don't. It doesn't. They don't. I mean, they still live in there. I just, I kind of thought if the eggs, like.
It's not going to make any more. I mean, that would be the benefit to be able to have more, but it ain't going to work. It's always a limited population, but it's persistent.
Mm-hmm. Do they have babies? I mean, like I see smaller ones, but sometimes I think it's just because when I put, the excess water in there.
Yeah. Good night, Sketty. See you tomorrow.
Good night, Sketty. All right.
Hello, Vince. Nice to see you.
Yeah, but so that was, I guess there was that question about that. Just throw in your extra brine shrimp stuff.
Right, exactly.
And make sure it's kept in the sun, but not too much
in
the sun.
Yeah, that's right. And don't let the rain. Don't let the rain get to it.
I used to keep it over here, but it's the weather's changing now, so now I put it more directly in the sun.
Right.
But during the heat of the summer, I kept it, back here where you.
Yeah, in a week you will have adult brine shrimp.
There's already adult brine shrimp in there.
Right.
Yes, first class. I'm saying that I've had 2 air pumps burn out because the salt clogs the air stones. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. All right. But I wonder though, because I saw Lucas was using, he was using a sponge, or not, it wasn't him directly, it was his friend. He was using a sponge filter. And that never seemed to burn out. So maybe that probably would be better if I wanted to grow the
It'll get nasty and slimy. You're welcome to do it.
The sponge filter?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
sponge filters in salt water become super gross.
Oh.
I mean, it's okay, but.
So basically you're saying it's going to be the only sponge filter ever be able to have.
Really? Yeah, she could leave them off Chick of the Sea. She just fixated on having air in there. Wooden ones, yeah, the wooden ones have probably worked. They clog up eventually, too, however.
Oh, run an open tube?
No, the wooden. Well, you could do that. You could do that.
Okay.
That'd be the simplest solution.
That would be the simplest solution.
I mean, that's like putting a sponge filter in. Same thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because the tube is open.
Yeah, the tube's open. I guess no, I guess you're right. And it wouldn't be as,
Put
yeah, I guess you're
a
right.
weight on the line. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, oh, yeah. Josh, of course.
Right. Take the stone off and run it open too.
Yeah.
Said Corporal. Right.
Yeah, I think I'll do that because I burned up 2, 3 pumps.
Really?
Yeah, the small ones though, the small ones.
Yeah, well, you should have learned your lesson after the second one.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's that. Did you not see that setup? That setup is it's classic. I don't give a. Let's just see what happens, and I'm not really watching it too carefully.
Really.
Yeah.
It is amazingly successful, however.
Yeah, it was. It was just a little science experiment. Yes, Josh, I know it's $5 to $10 a pop, but I do order them on Amazon, and I have this subscribe and save. So, yeah, it's still $5 to $10 a pop.
True enough.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Snake. Snake Pliss.
Snake Plissken is here. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. We've been at this about 2 hours now.
Oh yeah, I gotta. My husband's coming home, so.
Right.
I've had
fun.
to take down some of my setups, and he's as happy as a clam. So, which
Good.
yeah, you gotta have that
the
balance.
kids quieted down, so that's good.
Yeah. So.
All right. So we'll see you all tomorrow night.
Yes. First class, I will get in touch with you tonight. And by the way, yes, the Tetra Whisper 10-gallon one or air pumps are really good. I actually really like them.
Nice.
All right. Well, good night, all.
Take care. God bless. See you all tomorrow night.